Hello, I'm Daniel Mullany from SITEK Process Solutions, and today we're going to review how easy it is to remove and reinstall a SlickDevice or 101 controller. It only takes about 5 minutes, and the only two tools that you're going to need are a medium-sized flathead screwdriver and a 5/16 nut driver. I've already removed the back panel from the system, so now let's get started. The first item that we're going to do is use our 5/16 nut driver to loosen the grounding wire nut. Okay. And I've just loosened it here because we want to remove the nut actually with our hand and make sure that we don't drop it. As anyone watching this video might know already, losing hardware when in the fab is a pain in the butt. And so now I removed the grounding wire, and now we're going to remove these items from right to left, as this is what's going to give our hand an easier way to access each connector. So you're just going to rotate counterclockwise on these connectors in order to remove them. And you'll feel they kind of like pop at the end when you know they've released. And now we're going to take our flathead here and loosen up the two connectors that we have here. One is for our light indicator, and the other one is going to be for our 50-pin D-sub connector. Okay. So I'm loosening those. Okay, pretty straightforward. And then we're going to reach in and just make sure that we're threaded off all the way. Yep, all those are threaded off completely. And just simply remove them. So there we have our light tower disconnected, our 50-pin disconnected, and lastly we have our resistivity probe. Your resistivity probe, if you have a 101 controller, is likely going to look different than this one. That's a discontinued style. This is a replacement connector, and so if you have that style, we have an adapter for you. So if you're upgrading from the 101 to the SlickDevice, we'll just send that adapter along with it. Now I'm going to come over here and loosen the slide block. Okay, and so now we're complete. These are all the same connectors that you'd see on your 101 controller, other than, as I mentioned, the resistivity probe, which is slightly different, and we have the adapter. And then this item right here, which if your system is not configured for purge saving, we have another cable or a wire that we can hook up to here, go directly into your system, and start saving nitrogen for you. So you can learn more about that by calling into SITEK. Remove the controller. Now we'll take our replacement controller and slide it back in. And this configuration is great because if you ever have any issues with your system, all you've got to do is remove the controller and send it in for service, then take your replacement and slide it in. Okay, go ahead and first do the slide block right here to keep it sturdy while we're going to go ahead and hook our cables back up. And so now we're just going to follow the same pattern that we did, just now going from left to right. And so the first item I have here is our resistivity cable. These all have alignment pins located at the top of them, so that way you can ensure that you're hooking them up properly. So you just got to take a second look for them sometimes like that, and make sure that we get it aligned. As we just did. Now we'll take our light indicator and run this over. Okay, we're going to start hand tightening 2 fastening screws on the end. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to grab our 50-pin, which is used for all of the control signals of the system. This 50-pin connector is going to be 24 volts, and it's going to be looking at all of the sensors and sending the instructions to the solenoid valves. Basically, all of the 24-volt action comes out of this connector right here. Okay, now we're going to take our larger umbilical. This is what's going to be all of our high voltage application. It's going to be working with the motor and the heaters on the system. We're going to take our smaller umbilical, which is going to communicate with our motor controller to actually control the RPM of the system. And now lastly, we're going to reconnect our grounding wire. So I've grabbed our nut over here again. grounding wire is put into position, and then we're going to use our hand to get this nut started. And lastly, we're going to take our tools again and tighten everything down so that way the system is secured. So you can see I used my left hand to keep the grounding wire in position as I tightened it. Now I'm going to come back to our D-sub connectors over here. Use our flathead to tighten the screws on each side in order to make sure that the connectors are secured in place. And now the job's complete. Thank you.